exhaustively, do licensing, then you apply the annual service, takes 2 months to get in, and then it's like 3 months later you're doing your first spinal roll, and you're coming in, it's like, where are my hands going to go, right? So we come in with my partner, with them, but where my hands going to go, I'm just going to grab it, okay? This is the roll. 1, that's good.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Let's take a hand off. Right, and that's fine.
As long as the head is still
The goal is that the head doesn't move. Not that you remember like all the perfect techniques. It's like what happens to your patient. Thank you.
If we use that for licensing, are they going to
Be fine. As long as the head doesn't move.
Okay.
Like you may get a what the hell from your examiner. The most like to remember is it is what you do, not what you say. It's what you do, not like it's what your outcomes are. And if you do a spinal roll that's solid, maybe they're like, huh, that was weird, but that was good. And on that note, when you're licensing, when you go to licensing, remember that you are going to be a patient as well as an attendant and a partner. And you don't know what's going to happen first. You're going to go through all your medical, then you go through all your trauma, right first, I don't know. What that means is, whenever you are a patient for somebody, that person will be a patient for you at least once, maybe twice. So, don't wear a hoodie. Wear a t-shirt under your sweater if you wear a sweater, and take it off before you're a patient so that it's easy to do blood pressures on you. And when they're doing a spinal board, stiff the board. Make it as easy for your partner as possible, so that they will do the same for you.
Nice.
No yoga pants.
Yeah, just wear something with lots of loops all the way.
Something with rips too, so you don't notice if they
Exactly, yeah.
It's a secret thing that you do. You're trying to be helpful without being seen to be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can't tell you to not be rigid. One other thing about that, so this is not very often, it does happen. You're going to get a lot of people coming to license from different training schools, and whose training may have been up to a year ago and who may or may not have actually prepared for licensing. That can really mess you up. So if you ask your partner to do something, make sure that they're doing it right. Don't trust that they can do it, like watch them. BVM is a good example, like hey, once every 5 seconds. Okay, yeah, keep doing that. Or once every 5 seconds. And then like you may notice when you do your ABC check and that your partner is actually just like looking around the room, their hands not in the bag anymore, because they're used to training in a way that's far less aggravating than what we do, where you're just like, yeah, you're your partner, everything's fine, don't worry about it. And then they don't actually have to keep doing that one every 5 seconds. But that's going to count against you as the attendant, as the person being examined. So if you have a bad partner, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you don't catch it and correct it, then that counts against you. That's your call and you're not managing it well.
Can you pick your partner and bring them with you?
No. They assign them. The other side of that though is if you do see somebody who's doing BVM and they're like using the whole hand and squeezing like this, say, hey, just easy, just 2 fingers, nice and gentle, 1 every 5 seconds. That looks good on you. So sometimes, like if you've got it together and you have a partner who's a little shaky, it can just make you look really, really good during your call.
Do you get so you get graded as a primary? Do you get graded as like if you're the secondary as the primary?
No. If you're a bad secondary, the only person who suffers is the primary.
So if you are a good secondary with the primary sucks.
Yeah, then you've given them everything. You've given them everything that you've given them all the advantages. If they still can't do it, they can't do it.
So it's similar. It's just like you're there as a helpful person who trying to give zero initiative.
Exactly.
You are NPCing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
You got it.
I was thinking like you as a partner, like say when you do scenarios here, do exams here, do licensing. You as a partner are a 35-year EMR. You retire tomorrow. The only thing you can think of is you're competent, you're experienced, but you just don't care. You are staring in the barrel of a lifetime of fishing.
Cool.
Okay.
One of the other things that's important is that if someone gives you instructions you don't understand, if they use terms that you're not familiar with, ask.
Yeah.
Ask. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you want. I want to put an oxygen mask on, but non-rebreather with 15 liters a minute, please.
Yeah.
Or high flow. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. Yeah. If it doesn't happen, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if we as the attendant, if we told them, 15 liters per minute, we told them how to put it on, we told them, squeeze with 2 fingers, but say they're just not doing it still, but we've already vocalized that we want them to fix
You have
it,
to catch it.
you still have to keep
Yeah.
continuously.
And that can get super annoying, and your examiners definitely feel sorry for you. You don't have to explain like, hey, I want you to take the BBM, hook it to these boxes, plugs in the back. Let's do a 2-hand seal good with the jaw thrust. What you do a 2 or 3 finger grip, 1/3 of the bag, nice and slow, one over the course of 1 second, once every 5 seconds. That kind of deal is not necessary. What is necessary is let's do a 2-person BBM once every 5 seconds. But then you gotta look and make sure that's right.
And then it's like, oh, just correct your seal there if
Yeah.
you can, or yeah.
One of our students did licensing, and I'm so sorry. We had a student did licensing. We just them and a partner. Them and a partner, and the partner started doing ventilations. So them and their partner doing ventilation, 2-person BBM. And then said, okay, great, breathing is in place. I'm going to switch you to a 1-hand BBM, 1-person BBM while I do an RBS. Can you do that? And they said no. And Tayl's like, what? He goes, wait, no, I mean, like, can you do just like a 1-hand sealed jaw thrust and BBM? And they said no. And then Taylor looked at the examiner and he goes, oh. So he had to like manage the rest of his call, but now he's like didn't know what to do, and I didn't really end up doing it.
Peter was like, okay, I want you on a way
Yeah.
to walk him out of there.
Yeah, that was Peter. Peter did
Yeah.
the same thing. That's right. Peter's this guy that we all love very much. He came in. He was one of our students. Ex-BPD, wants to like do this from Search and Rescue. And just he's a great guy. He's gentle, and when he speaks, you just do what he says. Like he's a cop, and he's used to that voice. And I remember I was sitting here with somebody else. We were watching him do an assessment, and this other person was not in the class. She was just like training to be an instructor, and she's sitting next to me. And Peter says to his partner, "Get a blanket," and Gemma just like grabs a blanket. It's really something. And then so to watch him run a call, because he's used to delegating, he's used to management, and he's used to like giving direction in really clear, easy to understand ways. It's a thing of beauty. It's really. And so when he went to licensing, a really complex call, and they gave him a bunch of people, and I don't think he touched the patient during the primary. He did back and like BBM, and then the same thing. They tried. They couldn't do it. They weren't doing it right. That's why he switched. And he's like, no, you're out, you're in, I want you doing that instead. Just like moving people around. And it was just like, and the examiner was just like, man, that was so good.
He had the full trauma package, so he just lined up all the equipment on the side.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, okay, I need this done in 10 minutes.
Delegation is good. Delegation is good. And if you're like running a good scene, it's not a promise, but your examiner will probably just stay your way and let it happen. Cool. Sorry, I'm kidding. Yes. Goodbye.
Plus,
Yeah.
It's hard.